What is your favorite insult that doesn't include a swear word? Robert Muldoon, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, once said that the annual exodus of Kiwis to Australia raised the average IQ of both countries. We have a similar saying, every time an engineer changes major to business, both schools' IQ go up. I'd agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. Saying yes mom to my dad. If brain cells were bombs, you couldn't blow your nose. I wish I were among the people that don't know you. I feel so jealous of them. I think we'd have made great strangers. Comes from r/rare insults, but must have been a sad day when you slithered out of the abortion bucket is just too good. Gross. I've seen this spray painted on the wall of an abandoned air service tower. Even Bob Ross would call you a mistake, brutal and wrong. Now that's just going too far, but it's the truth. It's one by Leslie Nielsen, and it goes something like, it's a book on male sexual impotence, I'm sure you must have read it. You have a face for ADO, so subtle, so brutal, and a voice for print. Is this coffee bitter? No, must be you. You're the visual representation of the word mistake. Normally when I see a face I remember it, but in your case I'd be glad to make an exception. Nice. You absolute piece of, followed by literally anything, as long as you use a British accent. You absolute piece of endothermic potato. Huh, it works. You're more salty than McDonald's fries. The one that is unrelated with the culture. I hope your day is as pleasant as you are. Comes from r/Dota 2, the only thing you can carry is an extra chromosome. You could commit suicide by jumping from your arrogance down to your intelligence. Your hat is a bad hat, it works for everything situation, even if they don't have a hat, because no hat equals bad hat. Never before have I been so offended by something I 100% agree with. You look like the abortion that made it out alive. There are over 1 million words in the English language, but even that is still insufficient in describing how much I want to beat you with a chair. Said this to a bully after 6 years of middle school and 2 high school torture. The things you do don't matter to me anymore because I've realized just how expendable you are. It's entirely possible that no one will ever care to remember you after this moment. Your mum should have swallowed. I would never wish for your death, but I would read your obituary with great satisfaction. You're as relevant as a doorknob on a wall. You have less meaning than a stop sign at the end of a dead-end street. You're as useless as an Amish electrician. You insufferable dish towel. You should carry a plant with you to reproduce all the oxygen you waste. More of your conversation would infect my brain. William Shakespeare. Are you an actual idiot, or do you just play one here on the internet /at work /at school, etc.? Your existence proves Darwin wrong. Person, mockingly, why do you always wear black? Are you trying to be edgy? Me, I'm just already dressed for your funeral. You could have just said yes, since that's basically what you said anyway. You have delusions of mediocrity. You are so mercifully free of the ravages of intelligence. Also my favorite movie line. If you were any more inbred you'd be a sandwich. You dance like a white dad at a wedding. You're single-handedly the best example for being pro-choice. Just because everyone you know hates you doesn't mean you get to increase that number. You shouldn't play hide and seek, no one would look for you. Where you dropped as a child always seems to work. With all your qualities it's a wonder you have friends. Your family tree must be a cactus because it's all full of pricks. People like you are the reason why condoms were invented, you glonk. You sure aren't the dumbest person alive, but you better hope they don't die. What are your thoughts about intelligence, as someone who has nothing to do with it? I bet you know the sound of a vagina slamming shut. I bet you could have sex with a Cheerio and not even touch the sides. That got my brother a bit in trouble at school when he said that about someone's dad. You uneducated paperclip. You are herpes on the lip of humanity. I can see you made it yourself. More of an insult to one's skill, but it's one of my favorite backhanded insults nonetheless. I don't care what they say about you. I think you're alright. If brains were butter, you couldn't grease a frying pan. You are like a cicada. You leech of others for your entire childhood and then spend the rest of your miserable life screaming for affection. I bet your parents are cousins. There obviously wasn't a lifeguard in your gene pool. What you're saying is so nonsense that you aren't even wrong. Most of people like you was the people who used to accuse people like me of being witches. Even my cousin can do that and he's not the family genius. The difference between you and the door is that the door actually have a purpose to exist. That what you just said lower even more the little respect I used to have for you. I never enter a battle of wits with an unarmed opponent. I will never forget this. I was standing in line at the post office a few years ago, and a large man was on the phone, and all I heard from their conversation was, "That boy is so stupid, he could fall into a pool of tits and come out sucking his thumb." I absolutely lost my shit when he said that. You are not half the man your mother was. Why do you always feel the need to live up to your reputation? You look like the end product of a family that took to generational incest with tremendous vigor and determination. You're as useless as the K in knife. The one I use at work. Brain-eating zombies would walk right past this place. I just say I hope you eat a cinnamon roll only to figure out there's raisins in it. You are the human equivalent to a participation award. If I could, I'd rearrange the cellular structure of your brain to that of a cabbage, but I don't think that'd have any effect on your IQ level. Come back when you can't stay as long. If stupidity was currency, you'd be a billionaire. I can actually feel myself getting dumber when you speak. You play hard to get, but you're so hard to want. People like you are only alive because it's illegal to kill you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.